You walk into Walmart. You grab your favorite American brands off the shelf. You pay at the checkout, feeling good about supporting the economy. But what if I told you those American products you just bought were actually made thousands of miles away in India? The label says one thing, but the truth will shock you. But before we dive in, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and leave a comment. I subscribe. And I'll personally welcome you into the family. With that said, let's get started. Meet Sarah from Ohio. She's like most of us, trying to make smart choices, support American jobs when she can. Every week, she buys the same trusted brands. Never once did she question where they actually came from. She had no idea what was hiding in plain sight. Here's the thing. Over $77 billion in goods now flow from India to the United States every single year. And most Americans have absolutely no clue which products have quietly switched factories, crossed oceans, and ended up in their carts. Number 10 on this list? You probably used it this morning. Let's dive in. Number 10. Pharmaceutical ingredients. If you've taken aspirin, antibiotics, or even daily vitamins recently, there's a 40% chance the core ingredient came from India. Not the packaging. Not the branding. The actual medicine inside. Robert is 68. Lives in Texas. Takes blood pressure medication every single day, generic stuff he picks up at CVS. For years, he assumed it was American-made, just like the original brand name version his doctor first prescribed. Then one evening, he saw a news report about quality control at overseas pharmaceutical plants. Something clicked. He started researching. That's when Robert discovered the truth. 40% of generic drug ingredients used in the United States come from Indian pharmaceutical manufacturing plants. FDA data from 2023 confirms it. The pills keeping millions of Americans healthy? Sourced from factories in Hyderabad and Mumbai. Now, the FDA still regulates these ingredients. Quality control exists. But the origin? That's the part Robert never saw coming. But here's what makes this even more interesting. India doesn't just make generic drug ingredients. They're also producing active pharmaceutical ingredients for major brand name medications. We're talking about components for drugs that treat diabetes, heart disease, even cancer. The pharmaceutical industry in India has grown into a $50 billion powerhouse. They supply hospitals, pharmacies, and medical centers across all 50 states. Your local Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid? The shelves are stocked with products that traveled from Indian labs to American medicine cabinets. And most people have no idea. Robert didn't. His wife didn't. Even his doctor seemed surprised when he brought it up during his last checkup. But wait, it gets stranger with number 9. Because the next one is sitting in your kitchen right now. Number 9. Spices and seasonings. That all-American spice blend in your pantry? India produces 70% of the world's spices. Even major brands like McCormick source turmeric, cumin, paprika, and curry powder from Indian suppliers. Jennifer is 34, a food blogger from Portland. She built her entire brand around authentic American home cooking. You know, the kind with grandma's recipes and farmers market ingredients. Then she decided to write a blog post about supply chains. Big mistake. Or maybe the best mistake she ever made. She found out that the trusted spice brands in her cabinet, the ones she swore by, import nearly 80% of their spices from India. That warm, earthy turmeric you sprinkle on your eggs? Grown in Kerala's humid farms. Processed in Mumbai warehouses. Packaged in New Jersey. But it's not just turmeric. Black pepper, cardamom, ginger, coriander, fennel, fenugreek. The list goes on and on. India has been the spice capital of the world for thousands of years. The ancient spice trade routes all led back to the Indian subcontinent. What shocked Jennifer most wasn't just the volume. It was the quality. She did blind taste tests with her followers. Indian-sourced spices versus locally sourced alternatives. The Indian spices won every single time. More aromatic. More potent. More flavorful. She felt deceived at first. But then she tasted the quality and realized maybe geography doesn't define goodness. Her followers had mixed reactions. Some felt betrayed. Others said they didn't care as long as the food tasted good. And here's something most people don't know. Even high-end restaurants, the ones charging $200 a plate, they're using Indian spices. That Michelin-starred chef in New York? The spice rack in his kitchen looks a lot like yours. Same source. Same country of origin. Spices are one thing. But number 8 will make you check your bathroom cabinet immediately. Number 8. Personal care and cosmetics. Your morning routine just got a whole lot more international. India is now the 4th largest exporter of cosmetics globally. And yes, that includes products you use every single day. Dove soap ingredients. Colgate toothpaste components. Certain L'Oreal products. Even some Estee Lauder items. The list goes on. Marcus is 29, lives in Atlanta. He's an athlete with sensitive skin, so he's incredibly loyal to the brands that work for him. One morning, while brushing his teeth, he noticed something weird. Tiny print on the tube. Made in India. Wait, what? He started digging. Turns out, $8.1 billion in personal care products were exported from India to the US in 2023 alone. UN Comtrade data shows a 312% increase since 2015. 312%. But it's not just toothpaste. Shampoos, conditioners, lotions, face creams, deodorants, shaving cream. The entire bathroom aisle at Target has a connection to Indian manufacturing facilities. Companies like Hindustan Unilever, Emami, Dabur, they're massive players in the global personal care industry. And they're not just making products for Indian consumers anymore. They're producing for American brands under licensing agreements. Marcus felt a strange mix of surprise and mild betrayal. These were his brands. The ones he'd trusted for years. And no one told him they'd quietly shifted production halfway around the world. The quality was still good. His skin didn't break out. The products worked exactly as they always had. But something felt different knowing the truth. Like a layer of the brand story had been peeled away to reveal something less romantic. But personal care? That's nothing compared to what number 7 powers in your home. Number 7. Tech components and electronics. Every time you charge your iPhone. Every time you turn on your laptop or pop in your AirPods. Indian-made components are working behind the scenes. Here's the kicker. India exported $7.4 billion in electronic components to the US in 2023. That's double what it was just 3 years earlier in 2020. David is 45, an IT manager from Seattle. Total Apple enthusiast. He believed in designed in California, that sleek, minimalist ethos. Then one day his AirPods stopped working. Instead of replacing them, he decided to open up the case and try to fix them himself. That's when he saw it. Circuit boards, connectors, semiconductor components, all stamped with manufacturing codes from Indian factories. He went down a rabbit hole. Apple's 2024 supplier list reveals 14 major Indian manufacturers producing everything from wiring harnesses to LED drivers to printed circuit boards, all flowing from Bangalore and Chennai straight to Silicon Valley. But it's not just Apple. Samsung, Dell, HP, Lenovo. They're all tapping into India's growing electronics manufacturing sector. The Indian government launched something called the Production-Linked Incentive Scheme. It basically pays companies to set up manufacturing plants in India. And it worked. Foxconn, the company that assembles iPhones, opened massive facilities in India. Wistron, Pegatron, they followed suit. Now a significant percentage of iPhones sold globally are assembled in India. David experienced serious cognitive dissonance. American brand doesn't mean American made anymore. Not even close. He started checking labels on everything. His laptop, his smartwatch, his wireless mouse. Indian components everywhere. The tech industry's supply chain is so globalized now that almost nothing is made in one country anymore. A single smartphone might have parts from 15 different nations. But India's role has exploded in the last 5 years. Tech parts are invisible. You don't see them. But number 6? You literally drive it every single day. Number 6, auto parts. That Ford or Chevy sitting in your driveway. It contains more Indian engineering than you think. India exported $18.5 billion in auto components to the United States in 2023. Engines, transmissions, electrical systems, brake components, steering wheels, the works. Angela is 52, from Michigan. Ironic, right? Motor City. She's a third-generation Ford employee. Her grandfather worked the line. Her father was a plant manager. She grew up believing American cars were American through and through. Then her husband took his truck to the mechanic for a routine fix. The guy pulled out an engine gasket and showed her the stamp. Made in India. Angela couldn't believe it. She started researching. Companies like Bharat Forge, Motherson Group, they supply parts to GM, Ford, even Tesla. The smooth hum of your engine. The precise click of your seat adjustment. Engineered in Pune. Assembled in Detroit. But it goes deeper. Luxury brands are in on it too. BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Audi. They all source components from Indian suppliers. Leather interiors, dashboard electronics, suspension systems. India's automotive parts industry has become indispensable to global car manufacturers. And the quality? It's good. Really good. Indian auto parts meet the same safety and performance standards as parts made anywhere else. Rigorous testing. Strict regulations. Angela confirmed that herself. But she wrestled with a tough question. Is this globalization? Or is it deception? Her friends at the plant had mixed feelings. Some lost their jobs when production moved overseas. Others benefited from cheaper car prices. There's no easy answer. Just complicated trade-offs. Auto parts keep you moving. But number 5 keeps you alive in emergencies. Number 5. Medical devices and equipment. When you're in the ER, that life-saving equipment might have traveled 8,000 miles from India. Surgical gloves. Syringes. Diagnostic kits. Blood pressure monitors. Stethoscopes. Even pacemaker components. The medical device industry exported $3.2 billion worth of equipment from India to U.S. hospitals in 2023 alone. Linda is 39, a nurse from Boston. She's worked in emergency medicine for 15 years. She always assumed medical supplies were domestically regulated and produced because, health and safety. Then COVID happened. Her hospital switched suppliers to keep up with demand. New gloves. New masks. Ventilator parts. All sourced from Indian manufacturers. Linda felt vulnerable. These are the tools she uses to save lives. And she had no idea where they were really coming from. A Johns Hopkins supply chain study from 2023 found that 23% of U.S. medical devices contain Indian components. The FDA still regulates these products. Quality standards are enforced. But the origin? That surprises most healthcare workers. India's medical device industry has exploded in the last decade. Companies like Wipro, HL Life Care, Poly Medicure, they're producing everything from catheters to orthopedic implants. And American hospitals are buying them in bulk because they're cheaper without sacrificing quality. Linda talked to her colleagues. They were all surprised. Some were concerned about quality control. Others pointed out that American-made devices are often prohibitively expensive. The hospital has a budget. Choices have to be made. But here's the part that really got to Linda. Even high-tech equipment like MRI machines and CT scanners often have Indian-made components inside. The imaging industry relies on Indian manufacturers for circuit boards, sensors, and software. Medical devices save lives. But number 4 fuels your daily habits. Number 4, coffee and tea brands. Your morning coffee ritual has an Indian twist you never saw coming. Major coffee brands like Folgers and Maxwell House? They source beans from Indian plantations. Lipton and Twinings? They import 65% of their tea from Indian estates. Trevor is 31, from Portland. Yeah, another Portlander, I know. He's a total coffee snob. Refuses to drink anything but American roasted coffee. One day, his barista friend decided to mess with him during a tasting. Guess where this came from? Trevor was sure it was Colombia. Maybe Ethiopia. Nope. Karnataka, India. Even premium US roasters source green coffee beans from Kerala and Karnataka. That bold, smoky aroma wafting from your French press? It started as cherry red coffee berries harvested in the misty western Ghats of India. According to the International Coffee Organization, India is the 6th largest coffee producer in the world, and the 2nd largest tea exporter. Your morning pick-me-up? More Indian than you ever realized. But let's talk tea for a second. India produces over 1.2 billion kilograms of tea every year. Assam and Darjeeling are world-famous tea-growing regions. The British colonized India partly because of the tea trade. That history is still playing out today. When you grab a box of Lipton at the grocery store, you're participating in a centuries-old supply chain that connects Indian plantations to American kitchens. The tea workers in Assam pick leaves by hand. Those leaves get processed, dried, packaged, shipped across the ocean, and brewed in your mug. Trevor had to confront his own assumptions. American roasted doesn't mean American grown. He felt a little silly for not realizing that sooner. But in his defense, the branding never makes it clear. Your morning drink is Indian. But number 3 is in every single room of your house. Number 3, textiles and home goods. Those, made in USA, bedsheets, curtains, and towels? The fabric probably started in India. $17.5 billion in textile exports flowed from India to the US in 2023. Cotton, linen, polyester blends, all of it. Rachel is 41, an interior designer from Nashville. She built her entire career on authentic American craftsmanship. One of her clients asked about sourcing for an eco-friendly project. Rachel started digging into supply chains. That's when she found out. Even premium brands like Ralph Lauren Home and Pottery Barn source textiles from India. She felt deceived, but also impressed. The quality was undeniable. A U.S. International Trade Commission report from 2024 confirmed what Rachel discovered. That soft, breathable cotton you sink into at night? Handpicked in Gujarat fields. Woven in Tamil Nadu factories. Shipped to your bedroom. Bath towels. Throw pillows. Area rugs, curtains, table linens, even some denim fabric. It's all connected to India's textile empire. India has a 5,000-year history of textile production. They invented techniques for dyeing, weaving, and printing fabrics that the rest of the world copied. Muslin from Bengal was so fine and delicate that it was called woven air. Indian textiles were traded along the Silk Road. That legacy continues today. Modern Indian textile mills combine ancient craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. Computer-controlled looms, eco-friendly dyes, sustainable cotton farming practices. Rachel's emotions were complicated. Surprise mixed with grudging respect. She started being more transparent with her clients about sourcing. Some didn't care. Others specifically requested Indian textiles because of the quality. The furniture industry is the same way. That couch from West Elm? The upholstery fabric might be Indian. The rug from Crate and Barrel? Probably hand-woven in Jaipur. Textiles surround you. But number 2 powers your home's comfort. Number 2, air conditioners and appliances. When summer heat hits, you're trusting Indian engineering to keep you cool. Brands like Carrier, Whirlpool, and GE now manufacture significant portions of their AC units and appliances in Indian factories. In 2023 alone, India exported $4.3 billion worth of appliances to the US. Carlos is 55, lives in Arizona. Phoenix summers are brutal. 120-degree days where air conditioning isn't a luxury, it's survival. His unit broke down last July. He needed a replacement fast. The HVAC tech installed a new Carrier system. Carlos noticed the label, Made in India. He couldn't believe it. He started researching. Cost savings from overseas manufacturing get passed down to consumers. His new unit cost $800 instead of $2,200. But here's the ethical dilemma Carlos wrestled with. Lower prices for him, but what about American manufacturing jobs? Where do you stand on that? That Arctic blast from your vents on a scorching day. The quiet hum lulling you to sleep at night. Engineered in Pune. Shipped to Phoenix. It's not just air conditioners. Refrigerators, washing machines, dishwashers, microwaves. Indian companies like Haier, Godrej, and Videocon are producing appliances for the global market. And American brands are partnering with them to cut costs. The appliance industry has been quietly shifting production to India for over a decade. Lower labor costs, skilled workforce, favorable trade policies. It makes financial sense for companies. But it creates a difficult situation for American workers. Carlos knows that. His neighbor used to work at an appliance factory in Ohio. Lost his job when the plant closed. Now he's driving for Uber. Globalization has winners and losers. Carlos benefits from cheaper appliances. His neighbor lost his livelihood. There's no way to sugarcoat that reality. But the number one product? This one will absolutely blow your mind. Number 1. Jewelry and diamonds. That diamond engagement ring. That gold necklace from your favorite jeweler. There's a 90% chance it was cut and polished in India. Let me say that again. India processes 90% of the world's diamonds. And it's the largest gold jewelry exporter to the United States at $9.8 billion annually. James is 32, from New York City. He saved for 6 months to buy his fiancée the perfect American-made engagement ring. He walked into Tiffany's feeling proud, ready to drop serious money. The jeweler smiled. The diamond is ethically sourced, conflict-free. But yes, it was cut in Surat, India. James felt emotional whiplash. He felt misled. But then the jeweler explained. India's been cutting diamonds for over 2,000 years. They've turned it into an art form. Indian craftsmen are the best in the world at creating those microscopic facets that catch light and create fire. A 2024 report from the Gemological Institute of America confirmed it. Those sparkles dancing on her finger? Shaped by fifth-generation craftsmen in Surat workshops. James realized something important. The proposal mattered more than geography. But still, shouldn't he have known? Here's a final twist. Even some conflict-free Canadian diamonds are sent to India for cutting before they return to US jewelry stores. The whole system is more interconnected than anyone admits. Surat is called the diamond capital of the world. Over 90% of the world's diamonds pass through this one Indian city. Hundreds of thousands of workers, mostly from families that have been in the diamond trade for generations, spend their days cutting and polishing stones. The precision is incredible. A single diamond might be examined by 10 different specialists, each one responsible for a specific aspect of the cutting process. The goal? Maximum brilliance, maximum fire, maximum value. And it's not just diamonds. Gold jewelry is a massive industry in India. Intricate designs, traditional craftsmanship, modern techniques. Indian jewelers produce everything from simple wedding bands to elaborate statement pieces. When you buy jewelry at Zales, K Jewelers, or even local independent shops, there's a very good chance it was made in India. The markup happens in the US, but the creation happens overseas. James proposed. The ring was beautiful. And now he knows the real story behind it. So why is this happening? It's not deception. It's economics. India's manufacturing costs are 40 to 60% lower than the US. They have a skilled labor force. 1.4 billion people. 900 million of working age. And quality standards have improved 270% since 2015, according to a McKinsey report. There's also the China Plus One strategy. US companies are diversifying away from China due to trade tensions and tariffs. India benefits massively from that shift. A Harvard Business Review study from March 2024 explains it perfectly. This isn't about losing Americanness. It's globalization's invisible hand reshaping supply chains in real time. But here's the real question. Should labels be more transparent? Should you have a right to know exactly where your products come from? Not just where they're assembled or distributed, but where they're actually made. I think you do. But not everyone agrees. Critics say this shift kills American manufacturing jobs. And they're not wrong. US manufacturing employment is down 4.5 million jobs since 2000. That's real people, real families, real communities devastated by factory closures. But here's the counterbalance. Savings get passed to consumers. Your air conditioner costs $800 instead of $2,200. Your bed sheets cost $40 instead of $120. For many families, that's the difference between affording essentials or going without. Outsourcing also creates American jobs in logistics, retail, design, marketing, customer service. It's complicated. Remember Angela, the auto worker from Michigan? She struggled with cognitive dissonance for months. Then she realized something uncomfortable. Her 401k invests in companies that outsource manufacturing. We're all complicit in the global economy, whether we like it or not. There are no easy answers. Just trade-offs. So here's the real question, and I want you to think hard about this. If you had to choose, would you pay 60% more for made in USA products? Or would you keep buying Indian-made goods at current prices? Would you sacrifice convenience and savings for national pride? Or is quality and value more important than the flag on the label? Drop a comment right now. Team Made in USA or Team Best Value wins? I'll reply to the most interesting takes. I want to hear where you stand on this. And if you think India's the only country secretly making your favorite brands, wait until you see our next video. Because trust me, this rabbit hole goes way deeper. Hit subscribe if you want to know what else you're buying without realizing it.